Alleged cop killer in police custody. Reports are that two men are now being questioned by the police in relation to the shooting death of a policeman in St. James on Monday evening. Reports are that one man was taken into custody on Tuesday by police personnel in St. James, while another, believed to be the shooter, was taken into custody in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. It is believed that he got word of the pursuit of the police in St. James and fled to St. Catherine, where he was picked up by lawmen in that police division. According to a police source familiar with the development, the man taken into custody was on bail for robbery. He is now expected to be charged with murder as the police build their case. The other man is also being questioned in relation to the matter where Gary Hamilton, who was on suspension, was shot and killed during a robbery on Barnett Street on Monday evening. Reports are that Hamilton, who was an employee as a security at a supermarket, was shot after he challenged the assistant who had robbed a substantial sum of money. He sustained several bullet wounds, which subsequently led to his death. Uncle fatally shoots nephew during mashet attack in Bagwalk. An argument between a man and his uncle reportedly over a piece of property turned deadly in Bagwalk, St. Catherine. The nephew reportedly attacked and trapped his uncle, who is a licensed firearm holder, with a machete, and the man opened fire. The deceased has been identified as 31-year-old laborer Demar Facey of Swamp Lane in Bagwalk. Reports are that about 8:30 a.m., the uncle was at his home in the community when he was allegedly attacked by Facey with a machete while arguing over a piece of property. Facey reportedly used the machete to chop his uncle, who fired his last firearm, hitting his nephew. Both injured men were taken to the Linstead Hospital, where they were admitted. Facey later succumbed to his injuries. The Bagwalk police are investigating the incident. The Youth Summer Employment Program to engage 10,000 youth in summer jobs this year. Over 10,000 young people are expected to participate in this year's Youth Summer Employment Program. Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie made the announcement at an official launch in Kingston. This cohort will add to the more than 50,000 youth who have been benefited from the initiative since the inception 9 years ago. Mr. McKenzie said the program will run for 4 weeks. Participants will receive a weekly salary of $17,000 up from $16,000. Minister McKenzie said the compensation reflects the government's appreciation of the contribution young people continue to make in supporting local communities through their work.
The program caters for young Jamaicans, 16 up to 29. In 2019, the number went to 4,000. By the time the end of COVID and we returned to normal life, YSEP had over 6,500 young people in 2023. And this year, we are presently at 10,000 young people right across the country in this program. It is the largest youth employment program of this nature in the Caribbean. And so far, over 50,000 young people have learned and have earned through the Youth Summer Employment Program over these 9 years. This year, we are increasing the weekly allowance. In keeping with the government move to increase the minimum wage to $16,000, we have gone a little beyond the minimum wage, and you will be earning $17,000 tax-free for the 4-week period of your engagement. Your responsibility, as you have been doing over the years, assisted the local authority in collecting the necessary data, street lights, derelict building, illegal garage, identifying vulnerable communities, identifying senior citizens who would need assistance during the time of disaster. As the minister, I want to tell you that the government appreciates your efforts over the years, and we continue to look forward for improved performance from you this year in the program.
MEGJC reviews Operation Manual for Government NSHP following a recommendation made by Auditor General. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation states it has revised its Operation Manual for the government's new housing social program. This as it seeks to implement recommendations outlined in the recent Auditor General's Performance Report on management of the government's social benefit programs. The NSHP is one of several programs flagged by the Auditor General. Addressing the sitting in the Public Accounts Committee yesterday, Permanent Secretary Arlene Williams said the ministry has taken steps to implement the AG's recommendations where necessary. She also sought to address concern raised by the AG report about the functions of the NSHP being similar to those of the Social Housing Program, which was introduced earlier.
We have taken the opportunity to review and, where deemed necessary, tighten our processes. We have, for example, revised our operation manuals for both programs, that is the new social housing program, as well as those that fall under the social unit, services unit, to address the gaps identified. Additionally, having regard to the audit's view that the programs were largely paper-based, the ministry has for some time now been planning to implement a database-driven system, and as such, the system is being developed with the Information and Communications Technology Authority, former eGov, and it will be evaluated by the end of the second quarter of this financial year. We have sought to clarify that the new social housing program is unique as it is focused on full unit construction and includes tenement upgrades and the relocation of vulnerable communities. The social housing program, on the other hand, is a grant-based program where beneficiaries are provided with grants to assist with repairs or rebuilding efforts. Notwithstanding, we are pursuing a strategic review of the organization structure for the two social housing programs that are being run in our ministry. And we have started by undertaking a complete mapping of the process flows for both programs, with revised workflows developed to reflect recommended changes to our operations.
New Tourism Board Act tabled. A new Tourism Board Act was tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, a signal that process to repeal and replace the 70-year-old Act is now complete. The new Act contains modernized provision in keeping with current realities and strengthening the enforcement provision that ensure Jamaica maintains its reputation for quality tourism experience, said Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett. This comprehensive update now enhances the Jamaica Tourist Board ability to effectively regulate the sector, promote our destination, and respond to emerging trends and challenges in global tourism, Bartlett added. He was speaking Tuesday during his contribution to the 2025-2026 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives. The minister told the House that the new Tourist Board Act will also repeal the River Rafting Act and will transform regulatory and operational functions of the River Rafting Authority to the Jamaica Tourist Board. Bartlett explained that the modernization of the Travel Advisory Act and its regulation addressing legislation that dates back to 1956 requiring significant updating to reflect the revolutionary changes that has now occurred in the travel agency business model over the past 7 decades. He said the amendment will take into account modern development including online booking platform, digital marketing, and changing consumer behaviors, while revising application and registration procedures for licensing of travel agencies and travel agents. The amendment of the Bat of St. Thomas, the Apostolic Ark, and the Milk River Act will modernize these pieces of legislation and remove legislative hurdles to enter in public-private partnership for the Milk River Hotel and Spa and Band Fountain Hotel. These partnerships are designed to facilitate the development of these facilities into world-class wellness tourism destinations that capitalize on Jamaica's natural therapeutic resources, stated Bartlett. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.